It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to April 13th of the year 2023 when the Nashville Predators were at home to take on the Minnesota Wild at Bridgestone Arena, closing out the regular season for the Minnesota Wild and closing out the regular season series, obviously, between the Predators and the Minnesota Wild. John Hines deploys his lines in the following combinations. Sanford, Glass, and Tomasino make up your first line. Sherwood, Novak, and Evangelista make up your second line. Trenton, Sissons, and Parsonen, Asplund, Jankowski, and McCarron make up your fourth line. Your defensive pairs, McDonough and Fabro, Barry and Livingstone, Stastny and Foote, and UC Saros gets the start in net. We are just 58 seconds into the first period, and Gustafson's coming up with a save on Tommy Novak. It's the first shot of the game at 2:28 of the first period. Saros comes up with a save on Dumba. It's the first touch of the game for UC Saros. 3:45 of the first period, Gustafson comes up with a save on Evangelista, plus his follow-up at the edge of the blue paint. 6:14 of the first, Saros, a save on Patan. 7:07, Foote is off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. It's going to be Jankowski, though, with his 7th goal of the season, short-handed. It was a deflection in the low slot off of Barry Speed. Off of the rush with speed, Jankowski crashes the slot area, is rewarded, gets the tip, just enough of a deflection to knuckle it over the goal line, and in his 7th goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead over the Minnesota Wild. At 10:33 of the first period, Merrill's off to the box. 2 minutes for interference. Gustafson comes up with a save on Sissons, and Gustafson follows it up with another save on Sissons, and Sissons would be involved in one other scoring opportunity for the Predators before the end of this power play. 14:03 of the first period, Saros comes up with the glove save on Addison at 14:19. Freddie Gaudreau's 18th goal of the season ties the game up at 1 apiece for the Minnesota Wild. It was a sharp angle one-timer for the one-time Nashville Predator. 1-1 now at 16:19 of the first period. It's Sherwood's 5th goal of the season. Now makes it 2-1 in favor of the Nashville Predators. It was Tommy Novak who did all of the work. He doubled back down along the goal line, steps out in front of the net, does some sick stick handling, and then loses the puck just barely, and Sherwood is right there to clean up the garbage. Everybody was mesmerized by what Tommy Novak was doing, followed him all the way across the crease. When the puck trickled loose, it was easy for Sherwood to clean it up right there. 2-1 now in favor of the Nashville Predators. 16:29 of the first period, Giroux's off to the box. 2 minutes for High, sticking in. Absolutely nothing happened. 2 minutes went by on the clock, and that is all. 19:21 of the first period, Nyquist hits the post. It looked like for just a second that might have gone in, but no review was ever requested, so obviously it was off the correct outside iron. We hit the end of the first period with the Nashville Predators leading 2-1 on the scoreboard and out shooting the Minnesota Wild 12-5. 3:58 into the second period on the clean sheet. Well, it's not so clean at this point. 4 minutes in, Saros comes up with a save on Nyquist. 4:33 of the second period. Saros comes up with a save on Merrill. 7:15. Gustafson comes up with a save on Livingstone. At 7:31, Gustafson a save on McCarron. The Nashville Predators, a really good burst of offense right here during the 7-minute mark of the second period. 10:46 of the second period. Gaudreau, Freddie Gaudreau, that is his 19th goal of the season. Yes, we already talked about him scoring in this game, so it's his second goal of the game. A broken stick, a broken play, and a delayed penalty call. All of it ends up with Freddie Gaudreau cleaning up again near the net. Freddie Gaudreau was really, really motivated in bringing the jam in this game. And now his 19th goal of the season, his second goal of the game, ties the game up at 2 apiece between the Nashville Predators and the Minnesota Wild. Or I should say, Nashville has 2, Freddie Gaudreau has 2, Minnesota has 0. 13:20 of the second period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Dewar. 15:24. Merrill off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. Gustafson would have to come up with a save on Luke Evangelista at close range. At 17:36 of the second period, Gustafson would come up with a save on Tomasino. And then at 18:02, another save on Jankowski. The Nashville Predators really generating some good offense here in the final minutes of the second period. But at 19:35, just before the end of the period, UC Saros would have to come up with a save on Dewar through traffic. A sneaky good scoring opportunity there towards the end of the second period. We do hit the end of the second period. The Nashville Predators are out shooting the Minnesota Wild 23-13. So Minnesota able to generate 8 shots on goal in the second period. We go to the clean sheet, and again, well, not so clean because we're 4:18 into the third period. Some low event hockey, teams really feeling each other out. It was a much closer defensive game than you would anticipate for a team that's already locked up and resting players for their playoff spot, and a team that's already eliminated eliminated from the playoffs. The Preds and the Wild played this game really honestly straight up in this one. So let's go back 4:18 into the third period, the first event of the third period. Gustafsson comes with a save on Fabro. Glass was setting the screen and setting some really good strong traffic. 5:12 of the third period. Saros comes with a save on Rousey at 6:23. It's Saros coming with a save on Dewar at 12:21. Again, the teams very tightly played. A lot of play between the face-off dots for several minutes here in the third period. So we go all the way to 12:20 of the third period, and Saros is coming with a save on Nyquist at 14:04 of the third period. Yakov Trennan's 12th goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 3-2 lead. It was a turnover just inside the blue line that led to a 2-on-0 with Trennan and Parsonen. Give and go. Trennan easy finish. Nashville Predators on the board again, now leading 3-2. But before I can even finish saying it, it's already time to go to 14:21. So just 16 seconds later, and it is the Minnesota Wild tying the game up at 3 apiece. Sherwood turns the puck over. He tried to glove it and drop it down. Could not handle the puck. Ends up being an easy finish for the Minnesota Wild. It was Patan with his first goal for the Minnesota Wild, tying the game up at 3 apiece. We go to the back of the sheet because we've got some high event hockey towards the end of the game at least. 19:23 of the third period. Saros comes up with the save on Dewars. That would hit the end of regulation. Each team secures a point in the standings. The Nashville Predators would outshoot the Minnesota Wild 29-24. Again, for a game where the points in the standings do not matter, these two teams certainly went straight up after each other. So let's get into the overtime section. We go to 3-on-3 now. 28 seconds in. It's Gustafsson coming up with the save on Glass. That's the first shot on goal of the OT session. 55 seconds in. Saros comes up with a save on Nyquist. That would be his only touch of the overtime session because at 2:44 of the overtime, it would be Parsonen with the finish through the legs, bar down finish. It was the Merrick Malik shootout move from so many years ago, but now it's taking place live in action during overtime, and it's a game-winning goal for the Nashville Predators. Parsonen knifed his way to the net, and it was one of the sickest finishes of the year. You will see this goal on every single Nashville Predators highlight reel for the end of the season. You will see it on every highlight reel across the sports landscape tonight and for the next couple of nights. And for the NHL, you may see that one on the end of the season for the best goals scored on the entire season. What an absolute dagger of a high skill, incredible play right there. Through the legs, bar down finish, just absolutely incredible. Parsons' 6th goal for the Nashville Predators is the game winner, 4-3 in favor of the Nashville Predators over the Minnesota Wild in overtime. And those pesky young Nashville Predators, they continue doing the work and they continue taking games incredibly serious. This was a lot of fun, actually. A very, very tight, highly contested game with nothing on the line except pride and future jobs for these Nashville Predators players. Minnesota Wild pulling their foot off the gas and backing things off, getting ready for their 2-3 matchup and awaiting to find out who they're going to end up facing in that matchup. So the Nashville Predators secure a victory. One more game to go on the season. That takes care of the Minnesota Wild. Up next, the Colorado Avalanche. The Nashville Predators have an opportunity to play spoiler. Let's talk about that, and let's talk to the Renegades of Puck. Time for analysis, time for the box score, time for so much more right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.